Previously on Star Trek Resurgence.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon. That's the mine?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You watch your tone with me. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait,
Jues Gawad Abawencha.
let me go!
Are you all right?
I thought if I could talk my way through like always, I'd be fine, but... I'm a diplomat. This isn't what I do.
Hey, I'll keep you safe. This...
It's where the uprising started. Hotari don't do this. We defend ourselves, but we don't kill on this scale, this level of savagery. I don't know if we should keep going. So much death. I don't want to end up like them.
We'll make sure they didn't die for nothing. What we learn here could save the rest of your people. Whatever happened here, it made the Elydians abandon the mines. Let's find out what they're so scared of.
What?
What kind of weapon did this?
This is like nothing I've ever seen or heard of. My people don't have a weapon that does this.
This must be why the Elydians are so afraid. Technology that surpasses their own, in the hands of the Hotari that they've lorded over for centuries. Tylus, you may not want to look down there.
I've come too far to... What is this?
They've been dumping bodies down here.
Unforgivable. Galvin and Sidron will be made to answer for this.
This concentration of tetrametric radiation has never been recorded. Whatever they're hiding, it's right through here. Incredible.
This is definitely not Hotari.
It's the remnants of the Tucan Empire.
I don't think we should be here.
This is exactly where we should be. Every strange thing we've seen in this system, it might all come from this room. We need to learn everything we can. Look familiar?
It's almost identical to the console Galvin has hidden in the palace.
It's made of the same crystalline material as the rest of this place. But I can't tell much else. Crystallized lithium compound. Its internal structure is extremely ordered. In fact, the states of these crystals on a subatomic level suggests a storage device of some kind. Some of them appear to be depleted.
What kind of information would you deplete?
The doc's on her way here to check Miranda out. We did the right thing, bringing her here.
I just want to make sure she's okay. This isn't like her.
There she is. It's good that you brought her here. Petty Officer Maris and the rest of the security away team skipped the bioscan when they came back from Otari. And they've been impossible to track down since. We don't know what kind of pathogens they might have picked up. That's not Petty Officer Miranda Maris. I guess you could call the process bioforming. This body is Miranda's, but her DNA is changing into something else. But what's more troubling is there appears to be another mind layered on top of her baseline brain scans. Miranda isn't in control. Someone else is.
But the real Miranda's still in there. It's on top of her personality, but she's not completely gone.
The new brain patterns have overwhelmed her baselines. If her engrams are still there, it's at the level of background noise right now.
Well, I still can. I just want to say... Carter, I'm sorry.
Don't give up on yourself just yet. We can beat this thing.
Oh, I'm not giving up.
What the?
I just want to live. I have a right to exist!
Give Miranda back!
Osmia Kelam Kalujo.
Weches I go notice texta.
What the hell are they saying? It's not in the Universal Translator.
Who the hell are you?
We are Scions of the Flame.
They can't get away with that. You have to shoot Miranda.
This suggests there's some type of complex life form contained within each crystal.
There's something alive in these tiny crystals?
That's what it says, but hard to imagine how that's possible. Our science division will have a field day with this. We need to study it on the ship.
Jara?
I see it.
What's happening?
Someone turned it on. We may not be alone for long. Let's hurry. This can't be right. It's putting out almost 50 zettajoules of energy.
I assume that's a lot?
Enough to power this entire quadrant. This amount of power, the kind of radiation it's putting out, it's the cause of the storm. The warp disrupting beam, all of it.
What do we do now?
We get back to the Resolute. They have to know about this. Come on, let's... Quickly. We have to hide.
This is outrageous! I demand you let me go!
No need to complain. You're about to receive a gift beyond your wildest imagination. If anything, I consider it an honor.
What is that? What are you doing? Get your filthy Hotari hands off me! We'll burn your planet to the ground! Animals! Wait, no!
Rise, brother. Rejoin the flame.
This can only mean our time has come.
I'm only sorry I couldn't find a more suitable host for you.
All in good time. This is only the beginning.
They're working together? An Elidian and a Hotari?
They did something to him.
Secure the Cartabula. Go back through the mine. Cut off their escape. Find them!
Jara! Get on! Hold on to something.
Resolute, 2 to beam up immediately.
Commander, we read you, but there's too much interference. Transporters still can't get a lock.
Miranda was able to transport through the storm. There has to be some path through that we're not seeing.
Tetrametric radiation is saturating our sensors. There is too much interference to pick up the residual transporter signature.
Wait. Tetrametric radiation. Of course. I can align the transporter with the tetrametric signature.
Commander Rydek, we have penetrated the storm's interference, but we are unable to pinpoint your signature. We need you to generate a high-energy event to help us...
High-energy event. Got it.
Yes!
Get her to sickbay.
Captain Solano and Ambassador Spock have just returned from Hotari.
Take a look at that.
Rydek, I need you on the bridge, now. The Elydians are preparing to attack Hotari.
Status report.
Your systems are now fully powered. All torpedo tubes open. They're preparing to fire!
Maneuver the Resolute underneath their warships. Block their shots at the planet's surface.
Clever. Shields at maximum, Mr. Herman. Now think twice about firing on a Federation ship.
The Elydians. They've powered down their weapons. Hold on. Now all of their systems have shut down.
Captain, the flagship is hailing us.
On screen.
Zeldy to the Starship Resolute. Life support systems have failed. Unable to ventilate. Contaminated atmosphere. My crew is going to die. Please, I beg of you. You must render assistance. System failures are compounding around my ship.
We'll help you.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
By my estimate, the crew only have 23 minutes before their atmospheric mix becomes lethal.
While we may not be able to transport the Elydians directly, if we were to transport them from their ship to a nearby shuttlecraft, it should be possible to amplify the transporter signal there and reroute it to the Resolute.
The Ambassador's plan is incomplete. An away team will have to beam aboard the Zeldy and set up pattern enhancers for a stable enough signal out of the dampening field.
Take Chovak and Bedrosian in the shuttle, and get it done.
Petty Officers Diaz and Etzelar, you will be part of the rescue mission. The pattern enhancers must be placed on the Zeldy to make it possible to beam the Elydians back to the Resolute. The away team is ready. We are within range. Any closer will put the shuttlecraft at risk. Preparing to transport the away team. Energizing.
The ship's life support. It's almost completely drained.
And the other systems, too.
I am the ranking officer here. State your intentions.
What does it look like? We're here to rescue you. We gotta get into your transporter room.
Then we can get your people off this ship.
All right. The pattern enhancers are aligned and ready to go. Let's round them up.
Surge!
Sending available power to the annular confinement beam. I need more power, but internal relays are not functioning.
I'll do it manually. Do it!
I will lose the transport if I do not have more time. The signal is resolving.
Please!
Finish the transport!
I have them. Transport complete. She is injured. Lieutenant Bedrosian has been injured, but the last transport was successful. Unfortunately, our shuttle systems were damaged by the power surge. We can no longer serve as the transporter node.
Carter, These readings are off the charts. The source of the storm is on this ship.
This is an opportunity for us. We're on this ship. We can stay in the shadows, see where they're taking the Cartabula, and do something to stop them.
You always wanted the chance to do something big.
We are reading the warp engines powering up.
Yeah, we picked up on that.
We do not have a way to evacuate you from the Zeldi.
That's all right, Commander. We have a plan of our own. We're gonna stay on this ship.
That is very bold of you, Mr. Diaz. Live long and prosper.
We're locked in. Order transport.
Come on, Bell!
Bell!
It's too late for him. Carter!
3 to transport. Energize.
Zeldi does not appear to have left any warp signature at all. I cannot track its trajectory. Our duty often calls for sacrifice. She knows it, and our people on the Zeldi know it.
Contact the Resolute, Mr. Chovak. Have them bring us back. And tell them we'll need medical waiting for Lieutenant Bedrosian.
Yes, Commander.
Hello, and welcome to week 4 of Star Trek Resurgence. Thank you all for being here tonight. What a thought, 4 weeks in. That was a very, very hefty week last week, and I can only imagine it's going to get heftier. So, just some news about this game before we begin. They patched it earlier in the week. It's now at version 1.1, which means I can't accidentally go to the main menu by hitting the back button. What I'm hoping is that nothing's affected with our save, but we'll find out. We'll find out, and we'll go through it together. So let me just make sure that this is all working. No, it is not. Now it's working. All right. Well, first of all, here's the first big one. I'm just going to hit return to main menu. Oops. That's the button I want to hit. Are you sure you want to exit the game? And, just for the sake of getting some clean footy. Yes. So, yeah. Bedrosian fried herself. Got into a lot of phaser fights. Tylus got shot in the gut. And our party is split. So, let us continue.
Through your efforts, we were able to save almost 100 Elydians from certain death. As for Lieutenant Bedrosian, well, Duval will do her best, but the prognosis isn't very encouraging.
I feel horrible about the whole thing. I just hope she'll forgive me.
Our crew expects us to protect them. It's always hard on us when we can't.
Commander Rydek, I heard what you did. The sacrifice you made for our sake. You saved not only my life, but the lives of my crew. An incredibly heroic deed. All of Elydia is in your debt. We cannot thank you enough.
Just doing our duty, Admiral. I'm sure you understand. If you'll excuse us.
Of course.
How are we getting our away team back?
Ambassador Spock and the rest of the senior staff are waiting for us in the briefing room to discuss just that. I wanted a chance for you and I to speak first, given the circumstances. While protocol might suggest we alert Starfleet about our situation, missing crew, the data breach, possible threat from the Hatari or Khan, I think we're better off keeping this to ourselves, under our control. You know what's at stake for me here, and what is at stake for you, too. I can't afford another mission gone wrong, and I'm really counting on your support. I don't want to raise a false alarm just yet. And I have every confidence we can wrap this up before it gets any worse than it already is.
As first officer, I support you. But protocol is protocol for a reason, and my responsibility and duty extends beyond this ship and beyond you as my captain. We have to inform Starfleet. The sooner the better.
And we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
We're ready in the briefing room, Captain.
On our way. Is there any update on our efforts to trace the Zeldy's warp signature?
Unfortunately, no. Somehow they were able to mask the signature and block our ability to track their trajectory.
I'm also concerned about what went with them. A Taconian energy source.
Sidron referred to it as the Cartabula.
Yes, I've been analyzing your tricorder scans. This Cartabula is more powerful than any energy source on record. It disabled our ability to warp and likely created the ion storm.
We have to find that ship.
It could be anywhere by now.
Literally anywhere.
We should alert all stations to keep an eye out for that particular ship.
You're saying we should warn the entire galaxy?
I'm saying we do the math. Calculate their maximum speed against a given time interval. That gives us an expanding radius of where they might be at different periods of time. We alert the stations at each radius at regular intervals. It's casting a wide net, but it's at least worth a shot.
A sound approach.
The Takan also compromised our systems when Petty Officer Maris stole data from our computer core.
We're assessing what was lost as we speak. It's just too soon to say exactly what they had access to.
Starfleet needs to know about this.
We're not contacting Starfleet until we fully understand the situation. There are too many unknowns.
They stole our data. That's reason enough to warn Starfleet.
But the captain does have a point. It might be better to wait until we know more.
We shouldn't take any chances. We should at least alert Starfleet that our system was compromised.
I agree with Commander Rydek. We should let Starfleet decide how they want to handle it.
And essentially tell them this mission was a failure before it's even over? No. That's not how we're gonna do it. Not on my ship. I want to speak with the Hatari and get to the bottom of this before we get Starfleet involved.
I expect we'll meet resistance. The Hotari think we violated our neutrality by entering their minds. Assuming the negotiations are off, we no longer have an official role here.
We still have a responsibility to the Hotari. And the Elydians.
The Takan are a threat to both their civilizations.
No. They're a threat to us all. The device Commander Rydek found in the Taconian Vault is an advanced delivery mechanism for a complex biogenetic transformation process.
Meaning what, exactly?
Not only are they bioforming innocent hosts, transforming them into Takan, they're taking the DNA and engrammatic data of a specific Taconian and displacing that of its host. It's a hostile takeover on a cellular level, bringing individual Takan back to life, one by one.
The bioforming process itself. From what I witnessed, it seemed to be almost instantaneous.
This is strictly an educated guess at this point based on my research, but the transformation does appear to happen immediately. The Taconian seizes control of the host, and then the displacement begins. Petty Officer Maris called herself a scion of the Flame, but the computer had no information about it.
She also shot the hell out of my ship as she escaped and nearly killed a few of our crew. So we know this about those scions. They're dangerous.
The Takan have crossed a line. That much is certain. However, meeting with the Hotari could offer insight into their true intentions. Under the pretense of an apology for betraying their trust and trespassing on their territory.
If we go to Hotari, we go expecting a fight. Phasers armed, transporters locked to all our comm badges, security officers on standby.
Of course, we'll take every precaution. Come in ready for whatever they might try to do.
With the Cartabula gone, I can confirm we have regained warp capability, and the use of our transporters.
Excellent. Commander Ermot, see if we can arrange a meeting on Hotari as soon as possible. As Ambassador Spock suggested, under the pretense of an apology.
Aye, Captain.
Nice work, everyone.
You're long overdue for a Duridium infusion.
It looks like I am.
I'll give you two a moment, but she needs her rest.
I understand.
Commander Rydek? Is that you? I thought I heard your voice.
I'm right here.
Where? Before you say anything, I just want you to know I don't blame you for what happened. I heard that last transport made it through. That was our mission, to save lives. So, I'm glad it was a success. And Dr. Duval tells me she can get me my sight back. Eventually. I just hope this isn't the end of my career. Can't be much of a tactical officer if you can't see what's coming. But this is all I've ever wanted to do.
The latest advancements in vision enhancement are truly remarkable. I wouldn't be surprised if you came back better than you ever were.
I just want to be able to see again. That's all I'm asking.
All right, you two. Lieutenant Bedrosian needs her rest, and you have an infusion waiting for you.
I will check in on you soon. I promise.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Aside from almost running out of Duridium, you're in good health.
Nice to get some positive news for a change.
You I don't worry about. The captain, however...
Go on.
You see it, don't you? He's desperate. Withholding intel from Starfleet just to save his reputation. That's not normal behavior for a captain. I was relieved you called him out on it. Which was surprising since you followed his order to blow the bolts back at Starbase. You've spent enough time with him now, seen enough of how he runs the ship. If there's something wrong, as the ship's doctor, I need to know. Don't sugarcoat it. You know I wouldn't.
To be honest, I'm worried about him. It seems like the stress of this mission is getting to him. He has so much riding on its success, and I am concerned he'll do something rash to ensure it.
Good to know we see eye to eye on this. And I want to be clear, I care about Solano, I really do. I've been his doctor for years. There are more important things at stake than offending an old friend. If it gets any worse, you know where to find me.
Jara.
Monitor your Duridium levels. I'll be right back.
How's your wound?
Like it was never there. I feel lucky you were there with me. Without you, I'd be, well... Thank you for saving my life. Even with the wonders of your technology, it wouldn't have mattered if you'd left me for dead.
I should be thanking you. You took that disruptor shot for me. Without you, I might be the one in sickbay, or worse.
Well, I couldn't just let you die. Not after all you did to help.
I won't forget it.
We saw the truth down in those mines. What Sidron and Galvin really are. Who they've become. The lengths they're willing to go to. What they did to that Lydian. It's hard to accept. That everything I thought I knew, so much was a lie. The horror of that underneath our feet the entire time.
It's always better to know. No matter how awful, the truth is better than living with a lie.
I am coming around to that thinking as well.
Commander Rydick, you're needed on the bridge at once.
What is it?
The Hotari have agreed to meet.
They haven't found us yet.
You can't just wait to be rescued. We have no idea when or if the Resolute is gonna catch up. But if we can get access to the Zeldi systems, we might be able to figure out what the Takan are up to. You got somewhere we could do that?
Also, I wanted to say happy 4th of July to all those who partake. Happy, I don't know, Tuesday for all those who
Power
don't.
cells. Lydians must supplement main system power with these.
Come on, Carter. We need to stick with the tall guy.
For how uptight the Lydians are, their cargo bay is kind of a mess. Up there? All right. Etzelar, let's do this.
The internal sensors.
The what?
When they scan the ship for life signs, they'll know right where we are.
There must be devices that perform the scan.
Right there. And there. There's several of them around the room.
Got it. We'll disable them.
How? They're too high to reach, even for me.
Not too high for our phasers.
Low power, Millie. Let's not set off any fire alarms.
I got the ones over here.
Got one. Another down.
Hurry, Carter!
I am! Only one left.
Here it comes. It worked. They won't be able to detect us.
That buys us some time.
Now that the Zeldi has its power again, I might be able to access some of the ship's systems from here. I'll take care not to give away our position.
The Takan might not even know we're still on board this ship. Miranda only saw us transport away. She probably thinks we're back on the Resolute.
Miranda.
Don't give up on her yet, Carter. She had you in her sights, and she didn't shoot. That means the real Miranda is still in there. The Takan don't have her. Not completely, at least.
She disintegrated crewman Bell. If Miranda's personality still exists, she can't help us.
We don't know how this works, and I'm not giving up on her. I know she played us, used her sympathies, your relationship to break out of sickbay. But maybe there's a way to turn her back and Miranda could help us stop the Takan. Here, on the ship. Just because the Trill joining is permanent doesn't mean the Takan bioforming has to be.
I've heard enough of your prattling on about your friend. You have to think like a soldier. She's our enemy now. She'll be dealt with like the rest of the Takan.
My friend Miranda is not responsible for what she's doing. The Takan have taken control of her mind. We certainly can't kill her for it.
Speak for yourself. If anyone threatens the Empire, they are the enemy. It's just one life, and it's already been lost.
You don't get to talk about Miranda.
You don't get to ignore the truth.
We don't like this any more than you do. The Takan are a threat to all of us. They turned our crewmates too. Do you really think they're gonna stop there?
No.
And yet we still risked our lives to come help you, and not everyone made it.
I'll grant that you showed your grit and effectiveness. More than I can say about accessing ship systems. They blocked out helm control, propulsion. They're closing down systems faster than I can check them. They're always changing these interfaces. I can hardly keep up.
Oh, he's old.
Let us help.
Fine. They're using a senior officer's access code to lock down our systems from the bridge. The Takan must have turned someone in command.
Come on.
Here's something. I can see the course they have plotted in. Long way from Hotari space.
I hope the Resolute is all right back there.
So one of the things I can tell you I noticed with this update is that the frame rate, I think it's unlocked now. It's not going to be really apparent on stream since this is only at 60, but it's way smoother. I think originally the game was locked at 30.
We're headed to the edge of the galaxy.
Nothing but uninhabited systems along the way. And if we keep going, we'll leave charted space. A lot sooner than I like to think about, too.
That can't happen. We need to take control and turn this ship around. Get back to the front lines of the battle for Elydia.
We are on the front lines. They're going to do this all over the quadrant. The whole Federation is at risk.
That is a possibility, but it's already a reality for my people.
I'm sure it's pretty damn real for the people who are trapped in their own bodies controlled by the Takan. You can't just turn your back on them.
I'll take this ship without you if I have to. And I'll bring it back to Elydia, or I'll destroy it. I won't let it stay in the hands of the enemy.
Aren't you supposed to be some kind of diplomat?
Military attaché.
Well, you're not exactly building a coalition here.
The time for diplomacy is over. This is war. And I haven't forgotten how to wage it.
The most important thing is that we get control of this ship, so that we don't end up so far away that the Resolute can't ever catch up to us.
And if we control the Zeldi, that also means they can't use that Cartabula thing.
I'm not sure we can do much more from here.
What's this? It's a data stream.
It looks to be a two-way communication.
Let me see if I could put it through a demultiplexing processor.
Can you get that clearer?
I'm trying.
So one of the other side effects of this high frame rate is that this minigame specifically is harder because it's very slippery now.
Okay. That should do it.
Not
Hello?
a skill issue.
Can you read me?
Itasca, is that you?
Major!
It's my lieutenant. Where are you?
I'm here with some of the others. We're trapped in the ATP.
Our artillery targeting platform.
The bulkheads are sealed, and ruptured power conduits on the other side are discharging at high voltage. Major, we've seen Sidron and the other Hatari, and if we can get free, I think we'll be able to overpower them and take back the ship.
Itasca, are you still there? Itasca, are you still there?
You shouldn't trust anyone else you meet. The Hatari have been transforming people on this ship. We've seen it happen.
Bioforming.
It's only a matter of time before any remaining crew are turned against us. You have to come and help us.
I gotta ask, are you sure that's really your comrade?
It's Itasca. You're going to have to trust me. I know Lieutenant Itasca well. That's her. Clear and not under duress beyond our current circumstances. I'm sure of it.
I can do that, Major.
Then we don't have time to lose. We'll make it to you undetected, and we'll free you from the ATP.
We'll be ready and waiting, sir.
I may not know the computers very well, but I know every inch of this ship. I can get us there, safely, through the back routes.
Yeah, I know we thought we knew Miranda too. I just wanted to... We've pissed off so many people just in the first few weeks of this run. I haven't seen so many red squares in the corner. I don't know what's happening.
You may approach.
Your Majesty, an apology is in order. The Federation...
Spare us your apologies, your excuses, your pathetic explanations. You said you were here under the pretense of peace, yet you trespassed into our minds. I should have known you couldn't be trusted when you sided with the Elydians. Your intentions have been clear from the start.
I take full responsibility for my actions, which were entirely my own, not the Federation's.
How noble.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Her actions nearly caused a war.
I was addressing the Queen.
Galvin speaks for the Voltari now.
Fortunately, we were able to resolve this ourselves despite your interference. The Elydians have agreed the mines will remain under Hotari control.
We now recognize the Hotari as the sole authority in this region. Your presence here is no longer necessary.
So you can consider the matter resolved.
Why would you do that? You've given up everything and gained nothing.
We have peace. Fairness was never part of the bargain.
I thank you for coming. But the sooner the Federation leaves, the better.
The hell we will.
Captain?
What about my crew trapped aboard that ship? Or what you did to my security team? The data you stole? I want to make one thing clear. No one is to leave Hotari space without Federation approval. No one.
You think you have that power, when in fact you have none. You came here under the presumption you would be the ultimate authority. That you would show up and render judgment in this petty dispute over precious resources between lesser people. But instead, your arrogance and self-interest was your undoing. Blinding you to the real power at work here. Something far beyond your feeble imagination.
Enough of this nonsense. You're not fooling anyone. We know you're Takan.
Takan. A word I haven't heard in a very long time. At the height of our power, the Takan Empire spanned hundreds of thousands of light years, and trillions of Taconians.
An empire that encompassed what is now considered Federation territory.
What's yours was once ours, so it feels only right that we reclaim what was lost. Everything you hold dear will be gone. The first of many painful losses to come.
You won't get away with this. You'll be held accountable by the Federation.
I already have gotten away with it. And the Federation has no authority here. Not anymore. You might be surprised how many want to be part of the most advanced civilization the galaxy has ever seen. We will not stop until we've reclaimed what is rightfully ours. Imagine what a queen, a starship captain, or even a Federation ambassador could accomplish if their power was wielded by a truly superior entity. In the face of such impossible odds, against an adversary so clearly more advanced in every way, the only logical choice is to submit.
Never.
Seize them.
Get us out of here, now!
Rydick to Resolute. Beam us out.
You ever done something like this before?
Close quarters combat? Infiltrating an enemy stronghold?
Something like that.
I once spent 6 days crawling through sewers during the siege of Tofar Ket to retake the citadel there. That's just one of many campaigns I've served in. My dress uniform is well decorated.
I'm glad we're here with you. We need your kind of experience.
I should say you do. And I'll be glad to have Lieutenant Itasca with us. She fought shoulder to shoulder with me in that siege.
So you're pretty close, huh?
She's like a daughter to me. She's saved my life more than once. She's more than just a comrade in arms.
Don't worry. We'll get her and the others free.
I'll worry less when that's been done. But once we have my comrades, proper soldiers, we'll be able to retake the bridge. Then, our fleets will catch up to us. The ATP is just down that corridor.
Is this the artillery platform?
This is the power distribution for the forward armament cluster. There was combat here. Disruptor burns on the walls. Signs of a grenade detonation.
If there was a fight, the Takan might still be nearby.
Maybe my people killed them.
Or they could be waiting for us.
And that's a problem for when we meet them.
The distribution conduits have been knocked loose. The currents in those lines would be lethal. Is there any way to power those down?
Each circuit has a control panel that regulates power to the magnetobanks.
I can track connections between the power lines and the control panels. I should be able to clear a safe path to your crew.
We'll get the door open here.
It's heavy.
The magnetobanks. Okay. I can't do that again, but I think if you go back to this point and watch the replay, just tell me if he walks from that point up there to this ladder and doesn't take a step, because I think that's what just happened. Anyway. Oh, yeah. There we go. Jesus, did I just get lost? Oh my god. Oh god, I'm sorry. Carter hit his head. Alright, last week on stream, I walked into the lasers to see what would happen, and I see this is a prime opportunity to see what would happen here, because, you know, we haven't died yet. And it seems that we won't hear either. This is an invisible wall, so let's return.
Federation, you made it.
Barely. There's a lot of collateral damage out here.
They backed us into a corner.
We did that to drive them out. Put some space between us and the enemy. They're here. Get down!
I think they've given up on capture.
We'll never make it if we go back that way. You, give me a hand with this! Go! Go! Behind us!
Federation, you take the lead. We'll keep them busy.
Fall back! Hold them back! We can't let them reach the stairs!
Oh no. Oh my god. Okay. Don't forget to use the explosive barrels. Is a fact of life. Oh shit, did I just turn it onto story mode?
Fall back!
Oh jeez.
Hold them back! We can't let them reach the stairs!
Let's try and get shot. Yeah, alright, so that last game over screen, I accidentally switched the difficulty down, and the downside is now we have just this mark of shame in the corner. So I'm actually just gonna go... Oh god. How far back is this gonna set us? I'm gonna take a chance on this one, because I don't like having that icon in the corner.
You ever done something like this before?
Well,
Close
sorry
quarters
for that.
combat? Infiltrating an enemy stronghold?
Something like that.
I once spent 6 days crawling through sewers during the siege of Tofar Ket to retake the citadel there. That's just one of many campaigns I've served in.
I'm glad we're here with you. We need your kind of experience.
I should say you do. And I'll be glad to have Lieutenant Itasca with us. She fought shoulder to shoulder with me in that siege.
So you're pretty close, huh?
She's like a daughter to me. She's saved my life more than once. She's more than just a comrade in arms.
Don't worry. We'll get her and the others free.
I'll worry less when that's been done. But once we have my comrades, proper soldiers, we'll be able to retake the bridge. Then, our fleets will catch up to us. The ATP is just down that corridor.
All right, let's see.
Is this the artillery platform?
How many corners we can cut
This
here.
is the power distribution for the forward armament cluster. There was combat here. Disruptor burns on the walls. Signs of a grenade detonation.
If there was a fight, the Takan might still be nearby.
Maybe my people killed them.
Or they could be waiting for us.
And that's a problem for when we meet them.
The distribution conduits have been knocked loose. The currents in those lines would be lethal. Is there any way to power those down?
Each circuit has a control panel that regulates power to the magnetobanks.
I can track connections between the power lines and the control panels. I should be able to clear a safe path to your crew.
We'll get the door open here.
It's heavy.
Right now, Carter is thinking, strange, I feel like I've lived this before somehow. Can I touch this?
Electrify it. One arc away from burying its face. Keep my distance.
You! Federation, you made it.
Barely. There's a lot of collateral damage out here.
They backed us into a corner.
We did that to drive them out. Put some space between us and the enemy. They're here. Get down!
I think they've given up on capture.
We'll never make it if we go back that way. You! Give me a hand with this! Go! Go! Behind us!
I'm screwing around on chat. I'm sorry. I accidentally pinned a message that I didn't want to. What a mess today. I'm so sorry. First, I'm getting shot. I'm getting everybody mad at me, and now I'm being an old man on Twitch. Let's tighten it up here, all right? Let's tighten it up.
Go, Federation! You take the lead. We'll keep them busy.
Fall back! Hold them back! We can't let them reach the stairs!
Oh my god. Alright, A, retry, B, retry in story mode.
Fall back!
It's okay, it was just a dream. It was just a dream.
Hold them back! We can't let them reach the stairs!
Come on, hurry!
There we
No!
No! You can't just run in there.
Must live to fight.
We let the enemy take them. Hadri and Private Turo.
They weren't the only ones. But if we hadn't, it would have been all of us. I'll have to live with that, and I'll answer for it when I die. It's not the Illidian way to leave one of our own behind. It's a sin to do so.
We're not gonna die. Not if I have anything to say about it.
It's more important that we win. When we were in there, trapped, we agreed that we had to live to fight. Hadri agreed. We said, if one of us was taken, the others wouldn't stop. We'd keep going, make our way to the bridge. They died so we could fight on.
The Takan don't want them dead.
They want to steal their bodies. And steal their minds.
The Takan knows everything the host knows.
That means they know our plan. They know we're heading to the bridge.
Hylas. You should be in sickbay.
I'll finish this.
I couldn't just lie there knowing the entire fate of Hotari hangs in the balance. How did it go? You look exhausted.
I'll be honest. It was a total disaster.
That can't be true. I heard a rumor that they'd made a deal, that the Elydians agreed to peace. After what we saw Sidron do to the diplomat in the mines, I could hardly believe there was hope, but then... Is that true?
I'm afraid the truth is far worse than that.
There's no deal.
No. They're all Takan now. The Hotari, the Elydians. Everyone.
No. That can't be true.
I'm sorry.
Where will I go? I can't go back. I don't have a home anymore.
Hotari isn't lost yet. This is far from over. It will be your home again, I promise.
Thank you.
The Federation stands with the Hotari. You don't have to doubt it for a second.
Yellow alert.
Commander Rydick, we need you on the bridge immediately.
Commander.
Good to have you back. You didn't opt for the ocular implants.
Maybe someday. The visor was the best the doc could do on short notice.
We've got an Elydian ship, the Veskar, rapidly bearing down on our position.
Or what was the Veskar. Now I'm not so sure.
Bring it up on the view screen.
600 kilometers in closing. Still coming straight for us. Commander?
Have you tried hailing them?
Try it.
Hailing the Elydian ship now. No response.
400 kilometers in closing.
Shields up. Ready phasers.
Shields up. Phasers ready. Incoming.
Lock phasers and open fire.
Heavy damage. But deflectors still at full power?
That bypassed our shields entirely.
That's impossible. God damn it, return fire. Everything we've got. Rydick, modulate the shield frequencies. See if you can get us any cover.
Commander,
I've got this. Just keep firing.
Shields still have no effect.
That doesn't make sense.
I'll try another. There!
We've got incoming! How do they keep matching our shield frequency?
They couldn't. Unless... They've compromised our shield algorithms. They can bypass our shields at will.
What?
Captain!
He's out cold!
Why'd they stop?
Damage report.
Running on emergency power. Major hull damage on decks 4 through 7. Warp core is stable and intact.
We're completely vulnerable.
Commander, we're being held by the Veskar. It's Galvin.
On screen.
Commander Rydick, where's your captain? Not dead, I hope. At least, not yet.
You're dealing with me. Is that a problem?
One inferior life form is as good as another. I have to give you credit, Commander. You survived longer than I thought you would. But make no mistake, your shields are useless, your weapons ineffective, and there's nothing you can do. I could destroy you at any moment. But I'd rather hear your pleas for mercy first. Your existence is entirely in my hands, and I'm not in a forgiving mood.
If you want to destroy us, then I invite you to do your worst. We'd rather die with honor than beg for your mercy.
You may just get your wish. I've been thinking about what you said, Commander. You claimed I would be held accountable. And here I am. Hold me accountable.
The Veskar's weapons are powering up.
But of course, now you are entirely at my mercy. So I've decided to let you live, despite your insolence. Tell your Federation that Takan are as merciful as they are powerful. That you were fortunate to escape with your lives.
This isn't over.
I assure you, we've only just begun.
I've lost their signal.
Can you track their warp signature?
Nothing. It's untraceable, just like before.
Notify Ambassador Spock. I want everyone in the briefing room to discuss our options.
What's the status of the repairs?
Hull breach should be patched up in a matter of hours. Impulse power is at 67%. Should be fully restored soon.
Still no luck tracking Galvin's warp signature. They've all but disappeared.
Keep trying. Finding that son of a bitch is the best shot we've got.
Commander Rydek, you had the Khan after the ship was attacked. What is your assessment, given our current situation and the losses we have suffered?
It would appear we are severely outmatched.
In that case, we might have an option. Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. If anyone could find Galvin, it would be him.
That's assuming he's willing to help us.
True, but there's only one way to find out.
Wouldn't we need to secure authorization from the Federation Council to contact him?
The nearest Federation outpost is Andoria. I can travel there by shuttle and inform them personally of the threat from the Takan. Meanwhile, the Resolute can travel to the Delphi Ardu system in search of Portal 6-3.
I still have my doubts.
I do not. Captain William T. Riker has first-hand experience with the area and with Portal 6-3. His guidance will prove invaluable and should alleviate your concerns.
Delphi Ardu 4 is a restricted zone for good reason. For all we know, we could be walking into a trap. Not to mention the high likelihood Portal 6-3's allegiance will be with the Takan. It's just too much of a risk. A waste of time. Time we can't afford to lose.
Right now, we have no way of knowing where those two Elydian ships are, or where they're going. Another Taconian might be able to at least point us in the right direction.
Or we're the ones pointing him right toward his fellow Takan, making the problem worse.
I am inclined to agree with Commander Rydek. Her logic is sound. This portal may have knowledge that proves to be invaluable, including information on the nature of the Cartabula. We must act on the facts at hand.
Then we'll give it our best.
I'll arrange a meeting with Captain Riker.
And I will speak with the Council. They need to understand the magnitude of the situation. I can leave for Andoria immediately. I wish you luck finding Portal 6-3. The very future of the Federation may rest in your hands.
It takes a minimum of 8 crew on the bridge to run the ship. So we can expect at least that many hostiles.
If they bioformed Hadri, they know we're coming.
Which means everyone needs to be ready for... Take cover!
Now what? We need that door sealed.
We can handle that. Where do you need us?
There's an access panel there. We should be able to patch into the local systems.
We'll be shot getting there.
I'll cover you. On my signal. Now!
Damn!
Looking for the bridge doors. Wait, what's this?
Got something?
Gravity. If I invert the artificial gravity inside the bridge, that'll throw anyone on the bridge right up into the ceiling.
He'll never see it coming.
Itasca, get ready to charge!
Charge?
Reversing gravity polarity. Now!
Amazing.
Close in!
How do we get them down? What are we gonna do with them?
We don't have time to take prisoners.
So you're just gonna shoot him?
I haven't decided yet.
That's not just up to you.
I'm the ranking officer.
And we're not in your army.
These prisoners can be useful to us. But if you kill them, we'll never know.
I can live with that.
Well, I can't.
You're an engineer, not a soldier. This is clearly my territory.
You think you have enemy combatants here? This is a hostage situation. Each one of them has an innocent life inside. I'll keep watch on them.
As will I. We can't let our guard down around the enemy.
Petty Officer Diaz and I will figure out how to stop the ship.
Let's hurry. The rest of the Takan could show up any minute. Crystals. They're all over this place.
All right. Let's start by taking a look outside, because I really... Well, actually, let's talk to General Arminta.
Everything under control?
Yes. These Takan haven't made a move. Yet.
And what you're doing is working.
There's plenty more I can do. But it doesn't have to be that way. As long as they behave.
Any trouble?
Don't worry about me. Worry about Stretch over there.
Why?
He's looking for any excuse to vaporize the prisoners. But I'll make sure he doesn't. Even if they're the enemy, it's not right.
I'm here if you need a hand.
Just hurry up and figure out this bridge. That's the best way to help.
Gotta figure this out before we get wherever we're going. If the Resolute can't catch up to us, we're in a whole different kind of trouble. This console looks unaffected. Engine's a red line, running at full power. But this main drive manifold is spiking way over nominal levels.
Very dangerous.
Even at 100% output, the warp cores wouldn't push this much plasma to the drive section.
That much reactor output would drive us past the theoretical top speed of this ship. So how fast are we actually going? Careful where you point that thing.
It's not active. I can't see any way this would work as a weapon. It's dead.
Out of ammo?
I'm not sure. Where's the captain?
Captain Ostego did not survive the atmosphere poisoning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He died defending the Empire. That's how he'd want it.
Very comfy looking.
These crystals are Takan technology. They seem to be active, just like the rest of their tech. Tetrametric pulses.
Tetrametric?
It's the energy signature of Takan technology. Everything they make gives off this type of radiation.
They're blocking the inputs. It's not responding at all. Everything I try, it just ignores me.
Well, if we're careful, maybe we can blast the crystals off with our phasers.
All right. Just use caution.
Not a scratch.
There are other consoles to try.
There are two interfaces on top of each other.
This is not Lydian programming.
It's the Takan language.
From what I can tell, the ship's systems are actively responding to input.
Which is the opposite of how most bridges work. They usually send commands, not receive them.
It's from an intrusive program. This control station won't do us any good either. What have they done to this bridge?
Consoles running themselves, some clogged up with crystals that are sending off tetrametric pulses.
But none of this is sending signals outward. It's receiving.
They're flying the ship from somewhere else.
That should be impossible. But it explains why there's less than a full bridge crew. If they aren't flying the ship from the bridge, where are they controlling it from?
No, I don't think anyone's going to yell that, but if you'd like to, I welcome it.
We're gonna be there in less than an hour.
We can't let that happen.
Hold on, it would take days to go this distance with our fastest ship. We're traveling at a warp factor many times greater than this ship should even be capable of. Even with the engines pushed as hard as they are, they wouldn't produce this speed.
Whether it's these crystals, or the power from the Cartabula, the Takan have found a way to increase the engine output and top speed. We have to find a way to hit the brakes before we outrun anyone who could help us.
We stop it, so they can't get this ship where they're going, and enact the next phase of their plan. That is, if they don't destroy us all first. I would have thought this ship would disintegrate going this speed.
So what is their endgame? They've transformed individuals, they've transformed this ship, in a way. How far will they go?
As far as we let them. Their technology certainly doesn't seem to have limits.
I hate to think what the Cartabula could do if it was plugged into something it was meant to power. That's everything. We got some answers.
I don't like what they tell us, though.
If we can learn nothing else, then what's left is to make these Takan talk. And if they don't, we'll dispose of them.
Hey, that's not how we do this.
That is enough from you. I thought that thing was useless.
It was. No power. Until he touched it. The weapons must be biocoded.
Our technology will only work for one of our kind.
I can assure you, this weapon works just fine for me.
Slow down, Arminta.
control the ship with the disruptor.
But I can use it to control you.
Let's talk.
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack, making this so much worse than it already was.
Given the potential consequences, we should notify Starfleet as soon as possible.
I don't disagree, but I'll reach out to Ambassador Spock about it. I don't want to cause a panic, and I doubt he does either.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through. Captain Riker, this is my first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
My pleasure.
Sir.
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have?
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Residius 6.
Ah, yes. Yeah, now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
Well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
Then let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, this old chestnut. I am curious to hear what she says, though.
Ultimately, my responsibility is to the crew at large.
The needs of the many. You have been hanging around Ambassador Spock. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers. And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive. Or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter at hand. When you were with the Enterprise, you encountered a Takan entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you, but don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
I'll stand up to him. You can trust in that.
Good, but that's just the first step. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there. But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the Borg.
Trust me. This isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
There are some things you can't be prepared for. And if there are no specific tactical solutions, we'll just have to take our chances. After all, risk is our business.
We try to mitigate that risk as best we can. But the Starfleet we know today was built on that attitude.
Well said.
There was a special task force that considered the Takan, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi-Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Thank you for your support, Captain Riker.
I wish I could be there myself. But my first officer would probably see to it that I stay on the bridge while they get all the excitement on the away mission. The burdens of command. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Takan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious.
One thing we know is that they stole Starfleet shield algorithms.
The shield algorithms? That could jeopardize every ship in the fleet.
We're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
This is as real as it gets, Solano. I have to talk to Starfleet Command now, so I think this conversation has come to an end. I really do hope you get Portal 6-3 and find those Takan before this gets out of control. Riker out.
I specifically said I wanted to keep this under wraps. I thought we had an understanding. Now all of Starfleet will hear about this.
I'm sorry, Captain, but I didn't feel comfortable lying to a superior officer.
I have no problem telling Starfleet. I just didn't want Riker holding this over me. Now I have to think about the damage control of it all. You're dismissed.
It's the automated Federation warning buoy. Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
That was unpleasant. Commander Ermont, what are the conditions of our systems?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Takan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you? Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. If he's not an asset, he's an enemy. So be ready for anything.
We're bringing Bedrosian? Oh no. Just gonna pause here to think this through. First of all, we're bringing Bedrosian along, and she doesn't have skin on her hands or her eyes. We've got one of our dads pissed over here, and we got our other dad over here. He's looking pretty good. Anyway, yeah, I just needed to pause for a second because Riker was a lot. That was I'm really enjoying the cameos. You know, I really for a second thought that he sounded a bit like the compilation video of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction questions. But yeah, in the chat there, Clanless Kavar, I'm with you. This Solano guy is kind of a creep, and I think I'm gonna tell Starfleet everything that I can. So let's keep it going. I think we got enough time for one more of these segments. Oh.
prove you're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago.
I liked you a lot better when you were Ryan Kapoor. Pain in the ass sometimes, but a stand-up guy when it counted.
You weren't friends with the one who gave up this body.
He didn't give it, you took it. And all the others.
My name is Zanud Losa. I was born in the final days of the Age of Makto. I am but one of many. We who took a leap of faith across the bridge of time to be reborn in these bodies.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Aphelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion?
Only then will you understand the might of the Takan Empire.
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
It's coming alive.
You can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will know. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
But wouldn't you want that? You take the ship off course, your friends come here to your rescue. So why are you warning us?
Because I value my own life. When my fellow Scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and a battle will ensue. You've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We hurt him, he'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
I'm not gonna torture them. Not like this. But there's gotta be something we can work with here.
Is there a towel and a pitcher of water?
Going this fast, it would be too dangerous to force a warp collapse by cracking one of the propulsion coils. That could rupture the hull. End up damaging the Cartabula in the process.
And that risks tearing a hole in space.
We can't have that.
Engine status. Right. The warp cores are still practically redlined. However they've supercharged the Zeldi, it still relies on existing systems.
They just amplify the output?
But the Takan have already interfaced with those systems. The controls will be no use. So we'd have to find a way to manually shut down the warp cores.
Might not be a manual shutdown as much as it'll be sabotage.
No one appears to be guarding it. I think I can get us there. But once we're in, do you really think you can cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask, but I'm coming around to it.
Well, usually I'm the guy fixing the things that go wrong on a starship. But I'm sure I could figure out a way to break it.
You may even find you like destroying things.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
for the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all.
No.
I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I'd almost hoped you'd made it off. And Nilly's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Believe me, I don't want to be here either. Well, looks like neither of us get our way.
But Carter, I am going to get my way. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Takan Empire has so much to offer you. Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery. And a part of you would remain to experience the things I can show you. But if you try to fight it...
In case you forgot, we were a part of something. I still am. The Federation may not be perfect, but it stands for ideals that your people clearly do not believe in.
We have our own ideals. And we have our own strength. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others, too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
You think there's some sort of compromise to be had here? After all you've done? The only end of this is when you surrender.
After all we've done? You can't think we'd give up now. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Her comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow Scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you. You're still there. I think that's because you know we have something to offer you. And you're starting to do the math. And realizing that making peace with us is better than the alternative.
I just want one thing.
What's that?
For you to go to hell.
Oh, neat.
Got it.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something. They know where we're going.
Set to stun. You're not going to shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
We've managed this far without doing it your way.
We are hardly in control of this situation.
Solve the problem of what to do with him. Now let's move it.
Carter Diaz. My God. All right. I think this is where we're going to leave it off. I'm just going to wait for the episode that'll pop up, as always. The Last Guardian. Good game. Yeah. Definitely, I was trying to play Carter as somebody who's, you know, really hoping that Miranda's back, but I feel like over the course of the last couple of weeks, I've just been angling him to be angrier and angrier at what's going on. So that last little go to hell, that was really wonderful to press. Let's do our traditional, our vibe check for the day. We'll start with Jara, because she's got a whole bunch of changes, I think. Mentioned before, we had a whole lot of red, so let's start right at the top. Captain Solano. Captain Solano was enraged when Jara told Captain Riker, the shield algorithms had been stolen by the Takan and wished she had respected his desire to keep that information under wraps. Lieutenant Bedrosian took comfort in Jarrah's optimism when Jarrah visited her in sickbay. Ambassador Spock valued Jarrah's honest assessment of the situation after the Resolute was attacked by the Veskar. That has not changed. Tylus was devastated to hear the disturbing news from Hotari, but took solace in Jarrah's words of reassurance. Commander Urmot was feeling the same thing he did 3 weeks ago. Dr. Duval was grateful for Jarrah's defiance when Captain Solano suggested withholding information from Starfleet, and she shares Jarrah's concern that his judgment may be impaired. Galvin was irritated by Jarrah's continued defiance when the Veskar had the Resolute at its mercy. Captain Riker was struck by Jarrah's confidence when discussing seeking help from Portal 6-3, and he was glad Jarrah was honest and transparent about the shield algorithms being stolen. Chovak and Calloway remain unchanged. We haven't seen this guy in a while, and, well, who knows? Carter Diaz. From the back. Ambassador Spock has had no change. We have a new addition to the list, Lieutenant Itasca. Lieutenant Itasca was thankful for Carter's grit and determination when she shared her guilt over the fellow soldiers they couldn't save aboard the Zeldy. No change from Westbrook. I think this was what happened last week. Lieutenant Commander Chovak was seriously impressed by Carter's undaunted courage when he learned there would be no rescue attempt aboard the Zeldy. Major Arminta was disappointed when Carter refused to let him torture the Takan prisoner to get the information that they needed. Look at that face. Look at that grimace. Miranda was saddened when Carter wouldn't accept her offer to join the Takan, which was made worse when he told her to go to hell. Petty Officer Niliad Salar was relieved when Carter refused to go along with Major Arminta's plan to harm the Takan prisoner. You know, seeing it written out here, there's like a 5% part of me that regrets saying the go to hell thing, and I can only imagine that's going to cause problems down the line. But that's it for this week. We're going to pick up next week and take a look at what happens in the Delphi Ardu system, and I hope to see you all there. Thanks again for coming, and if you're in the chat, just drop a little message, say hi, follow along, and I will see you all next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.